There is a place in East Africa where the grass runs on forever. The people who have always lived alongside it gave this land its name. They called it Serengeti, the place where the land runs on forever. We know it now by a single word, the Serengeti. And it is one of the oldest living landscapes left anywhere on Earth. The creatures you are about to meet have been shaped here upon these very plains for far longer than there have been human beings to wonder at them. At first glance, it can seem almost empty. Only grass and a scattering of flat acacia trees and the great gray rocks the local people call kopjes, worn smooth across 100,000 years of wind. But this quiet ocean of grass is nothing of the kind. It holds the single greatest gathering of large, wild animals left anywhere on the entire planet. More than 1 million wildebeest, the lion and the leopard, and the fastest creature on land. The largest animal that walks the earth and the tallest of all. Let me be your guide for a while. Let me walk you out across this endless plain and tell you about the creatures that have made it the most famous wild place in all the world. Welcome to the Serengeti. Begin with the animal you will see more than any other, the wildebeest. There are well over 1 million of them out here. And together, they form the largest herd of big animals anywhere on the face of the earth. The wildebeest is the true engine of the Serengeti. Its endless hunger keeps the grass short and healthy. And its endless wandering carries life from one corner of the plain to another. It is an animal built entirely for movement. A newborn wildebeest calf can stand within minutes of being born and run alongside the herd within a single day, making it one of the fastest developing young of any animal alive. Out here, a creature that cannot run does not last for long. Moving among them, you will find the zebra, and here is the first surprise of the day. No two zebras on Earth share the same pattern of stripes. Each one is as unique as a human fingerprint. For the longest time, no one could say for certain why a zebra wears stripes at all. The best answer we now have is a curious one. The stripes appear to confuse the biting flies that carry disease, and they may also dazzle a charging predator, breaking up the shape of the animal so the eye cannot fix upon a single target within a running herd. The zebra and the wildebeest are almost always found together. And it is no accident. They have struck a quiet partnership. The wildebeest can smell fresh grass and distant rain. The zebra has the sharper memory for the old and safer paths. Apart, each is vulnerable. Together, they are far harder to catch by surprise. And weaving between the larger animals are the small and the swift. The gazelle. Watch one for a moment, and you may see it do something that looks almost like play. It springs straight up into the air, all four legs held stiff, bouncing on the spot. This is called stotting, and it is not play at all. It is a message sent directly to any watching cheetah. It says, as plainly as an animal can, "Look how strong I am, look how high I can leap." Do not waste your energy chasing me, because you will not win. Towering over them all is the eland, the largest antelope in all of Africa, an animal as heavy as an ox. And yet, for all of that weight, the eland can leap a tall fence from a standing start, rising into the air as though gravity has, just for a moment, forgotten it entirely. But where there are this many, there are always those who hunt them. Let me introduce you to the watchers. First, the most famous resident of all, the lion. Here is the thing most people never learn about the lion. It is the only truly social cat on the entire planet. Every other cat in the world, from the great tiger to the small one asleep on your windowsill, lives and hunts alone. The lion does not. It lives in a family called a pride. And at the heart of that family are the lionesses, sisters, and daughters who stay together for their whole lives, who hunt as a team, and who raise one another's cubs as if they were their own. It is the females who do most of the hunting. The great mane of the male is for something else. A male lion's roar is among the loudest sounds any animal on land can make. And on a still night, it can carry for as far as 5 miles a single voice telling the entire darkness who this land belongs to. And yet, for all of their power, lions are also the great sleepers of the savannah, resting for as much as 20 hours of every day. It is good to be king. Out on the open ground sits a very different cat. The cheetah, the fastest creature on land that has ever lived. Everything about it has been built for the sprint. Claws that never fully draw back, gripping the earth like the spikes on a runner's shoe. A spine that coils and releases like a spring. But here is what surprises most people. For all of its speed, the cheetah cannot roar. It cannot run flat out for more than a few seconds before it must stop, exhausted. And when it is content, it does not growl as the great cats do. It purrs softly, like a house cat asleep beside the fire. Then there is the cat you will almost never see. The leopard, the most secretive of them all. And pound for pound, the strongest climber of any of the big cats. A leopard can haul a kill heavier than its own body straight up the trunk of a tree and lay it across a high branch, simply to keep it safe from the lions and the hyenas that would steal it on the ground. It is also the most adaptable big cat on Earth. And that is the quiet reason it still survives in more places than any of its larger cousins. Down in the grass moves an animal we have badly misjudged. The spotted hyena. We were taught that it was a cowardly thief, but almost everything in that story is wrong. The hyena lives in large and sophisticated clans, and those clans are ruled entirely by the females, who are bigger and stronger than the males. Far from being only a scavenger, it is one of the most successful hunters on the whole plain, catching most of its own food for itself. Its jaws are strong enough to crack straight through bone. And that famous laugh is not laughter at all. It is a language, a way of speaking to the rest of the clan across the dark. And rarest of all is the painted wolf, the African wild dog. There are very few of them left now, and that is a true tragedy. For they may be the most devoted family in all of Africa. They share their food with the young, the old, and the injured, feeding them before they ever feed themselves. And before a hunt, the whole pack will gather and reach a decision together in the strangest way that has ever been found. They sneeze. The more sneezes there are, the more the group agrees, until at last the entire pack rises as one and moves off across the grass. They quite literally cast a vote. But not every great resident of this land was born to hunt. Let me show you the giants. Across the plain comes the largest animal that walks the earth, the elephant. A herd of elephants is led always by its oldest female, the matriarch. And she is far more than a leader. She is a library. Held within her enormous memory are the locations of every waterhole, every danger, and every safe path she has gathered across 50 years of life. Knowledge she will hand down to her daughters in turn. Elephants speak to one another in deep, rumbling calls, so low that much of it falls below the reach of human hearing. These sounds travel for miles across the plain, and an elephant can feel them through the soles of its feet, listening in a way to the ground itself. And when one of them dies, the others will gather and fall quiet and touch the bones of the lost one gently with their trunks. There are very few animals on Earth that appear to understand death the way the elephant does. Beside it stands the tallest creature alive, the giraffe. And here is a fact worth keeping. For all the impossible length of its neck, the giraffe has exactly 7 bones within it, precisely the same number that you have in your own. Its heart must be huge and powerful, simply to push blood all the way up to a brain held so very far above it. And to feed, it unrolls a long, dark tongue, almost 1.5 feet in length, and reaches it carefully through the cruel thorns of the acacia to take the soft leaves that no other animal can reach. A giraffe can go for days without drinking at all, drawing nearly all the water it needs from those very leaves. Through the longer grass moves a great wall of muscle and horn, the African buffalo. It is often counted among the most dangerous animals in Africa, and not because it hunts, for it eats nothing but grass, but because of what it will do to defend its own. A buffalo herd has been known to turn and charge a pride of lions, driving them off to rescue a single trapped calf. Upon its broad back, you will often see small birds. The oxpeckers, picking the ticks and insects from its hide. It is a bargain as old as both of them. The buffalo gives the little bird a meal. The bird keeps the great buffalo clean. And where the plain gives way to water, you will find the most misunderstood giant of all, the hippopotamus. For all the time it spends in the river, the hippo cannot actually swim. It walks and pushes itself along the bottom, holding its breath as it goes. It eats only plants, and yet it is among the most dangerous animals on the whole continent. Fierce in the defense of its own stretch of water. And upon its gray skin it makes something remarkable, a reddish, oily substance once mistaken for blood, which is in truth the animal's own sunscreen, shielding it from the fierce sun and guarding its skin against infection. For in the end, every one of them, the hunter and the giant alike, must come down to the water. And waiting there at the water is the oldest hunter of them all, the crocodile. It is very nearly a living fossil, a design so successful that it has barely changed in 100 million years, since long before the last of the dinosaurs. It carries the most powerful bite that has ever been measured in any living animal. And yet, it is so patient and so slow to spend its energy that it can go for months between meals. But here is the part that the fearsome reputation always hides. The crocodile is also a tender and a careful mother. When her eggs hatch, she will gather the tiny, fragile young into the very same jaws that could crush a bone, and carry them with the greatest gentleness imaginable down to the safety of the water. Follow that water to where it spreads into the great shallow lakes, and you will find them washed in pink. The flamingos gathered in their tens of thousands, and here is their secret. A flamingo is not born pink at all. It hatches a dull and dusty gray, The astonishing color comes entirely from what it eats, from the tiny shrimp and the algae of these bitter lakes, slowly staining its feathers rows across the years of its life. And to feed, it does something that no other large bird does. It turns its head fully upside down beneath the surface and sweeps its strange curved bill back and forth, sifting the water for the smallest life within it. These are the famous faces of the Serengeti. But the truest measure of this land lies in the creatures you must look a little closer to find. There, upon a low, bare branch, sits one of the most beautiful birds in all of Africa, the lilac-breasted roller. It wears very nearly every color at once, turquoise and violet and gold. And it earns its name in the breeding season, when the male hurls himself into the sky and tumbles and rolls through the air in a wild and dizzying display, all simply to be admired. Striding through the grass on long, pale legs comes a bird that broke the rules of its own kind. The secretary bird. It is a bird of prey, a cousin of the eagles, and yet it has given up hunting from the air to hunt instead on foot. It walks the plains in search of snakes, and when it finds one, it kills it not with its beak, but by stamping down upon it with astonishing speed and force. A blow quick enough and hard enough to finish a venomous snake before it can ever strike back. High above, circling upon the warm rising air, turn the vultures. We have always recoiled from them, and we have always been wrong too. The vulture is one of the most valuable creatures on the whole plain, for it clears away the dead before disease can ever take hold. Its stomach is a marvel of nature. The acid within it is so powerful that a vulture can safely eat a carcass riddled with anthrax or with botulism, diseases that would kill almost any other animal that so much has touched them. It cleans the land of the very things that could poison it. And beside it, on the ground, stands the marabou stork, one of the largest flying birds on Earth. A fellow undertaker in a ragged gray coat. And down among the grass runs a whole world of smaller life. A band of mongoose, famous across Africa, for daring to take on venomous snakes, carrying a partial resistance to the very venom that would fell a far larger animal. A warthog, trotting briskly past with its thin tail held straight up like a little flag. Kneeling down upon the padded joints of its front legs to graze, and reversing carefully into its burrow, so that its tusks always face the door. A jackal, clever and quick, and faithful in a way few people expect. For a jackal will very often take a single mate and keep that one partner for the rest of its life. There is the ostrich, the largest bird left anywhere on Earth. It traded away the power of flight long ago for the power of speed, and it can now outrun a galloping horse with ease. Its eye is larger than its own brain. All the better to catch the first sight of a hunter across the wide and open plain. And smaller than every one of them, there is this, a single beetle rolling a perfect ball of dung many times its own weight across the burning plain. It is one of the strongest creatures alive for its size, and one of the most gifted navigators of all, for the dung beetle is the only animal we know of that steers its way by the faint light of the distant Milky Way. It is the humblest worker in the entire kingdom, and yet without it, and the countless millions exactly like it, these plains would slowly disappear beneath their own waste. Even the smallest life out here has its work to do, and it does that work to perfection. So look once more upon the whole of it. On its own, the Serengeti is a simple place. Grass and a few flat trees, and old gray stone beneath a wide and burning sky. There are taller mountains in the world, and deeper forests, and far bluer seas. But there is nowhere else on earth quite like it. And now you know the reason why. It is everything that lives here. The lion that sleeps the day away upon its rock. The cheetah that purrs instead of roaring. The elephant that listens through its feet and grieves for its dead. The giraffe with its 7 bones. And the crocodile carrying its young in the gentlest of jaws, and the small beetle steering itself by the stars. The land did not make itself a wonder, its creatures did. And together, every single one of them, the greatest and the very smallest alike, has turned this quiet ocean of grass into the most celebrated wild place on the whole of the earth. This is the Serengeti, the land that runs on forever, and the kingdom that it holds.